I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Oh my god. Usually I'm better than this, by the way. Usually I'm way better than this. Like I'm always locked in. But that last 2 episodes was so stupid, bro. What is wrong with me? I was editing back the footage before I could post it because you have to edit it in a certain way. And they just kept dropping lines that these two are related. This is this person. This is that person. And it just flew over my head. Or there was context otherwise in the episode that made it seem the other way. For example, when Joffrey and Tyrion were talking at the doghouse or whatever, Joffrey was like, "I'm telling mother." Like the way he said that, I took it as like, "Oh, I'm telling mum, I'm gonna get you in trouble." You know what I mean? So stuff like that threw me off as well. But God, looking back, it's so stupid. So let me give you a quick rundown of what I know and what my status is when it comes to this show. So basically, you've got 7 kingdoms, which I'm assuming is 7 families, and out of those 7, we've got 4 so far. I think we've got the Stark family, we've got the Lannisters, we've got the Targaryens. I think I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I don't know. Always, I don't know, bro. But anyway, so that's 3. Dothraki is 4, and I think there's also the Snow family. Maybe that's more like a family rather than a house. I don't think they rule a kingdom or anything like that. So I'm gonna cross that one out for now and just say we've been introduced to 4 of them so far. Okay, and what's going on now is that you've got the Lannister family, which consists of the king, the queen, and her siblings, which is Jaime and Tyrion. Okay, and Jaime and her. Also, I kept saying mystery murderer. Oh my god, bro. It was so obvious the whole time that it was one of the two. It was planned by them. They said it at the start. They said that, you know, we'll get beheaded of this. Or our head will get put on a stick for this. If he told the king whatever. Or are you worried? Like, as in, yeah, are you worried about getting caught that we killed Jon Arryn? You know what I mean? And obviously, the other sister, the third sister, I don't know if she's also related to the queen. Might be. I don't know how that whole situation is, because I forgot her name, but Ned's wife is supposed to be the queen's sister as well, right? And they also have another sibling who was the wife of Jon Arryn, who ran away or whatever and sent that message. So you've got that whole situation going on. Then you've also got the war going on about to happen with the Dothraki Targaryens going to the capital. King's Landing. As for Winterfell, Jon left to join the elite force. I think that's it. Obviously there's the dragon's eggs just chilling, but I think for the most part, I think that's it. I think I've actually got my head wrapped around it correctly, like, right? I think it makes sense in my head now. I don't think I'm okay. The one thing that I still need to give it thought is Tyrion's brother killed the king, the previous king, which was the Targaryen king, I'm assuming, just based off of the narrative that we're following. Also, Tyrion's father was the right hand to the previous king, which I'm assuming that would also be the queen's father, Jaime's father, whatever, right? Wow, okay, are you proud of me? You guys better be proud of me. That, I don't know why that took so long. Also, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm still sick, so if you hear a sniffle or two, just ignore it. But yeah, let's get started! Okay, so this is King's Landing then, I'm assuming, right? Because last I checked, Ned was going to join the king and accept his offer. And obviously he's got his daughter with him. So, wait, does that mean that she's still getting married? Because didn't they have a fallout?
Welcome, Lord Stark. Grand Meister Pycelle has called a meeting of the small council.
Meister Pycelle.
Get the girls settled in.
Oh wait, Arya's here as well. Wait, what?
If you'd like to change into something more appropriate.
Damn, he just said your fit is not hard. Last time we were in this castle was the Lannisters' introduction and Jon Arryn's thing. Yeah, look, this is the exact place because the throne is already at the back of it, huh? Is that Jaime? Jaime kind of looks like that one guy from Shrek.
What's the line? The king shits and the hand wipes.
This guy has just got a problem with everyone. What's his role, right? I get that he's the king's brother-in-law, but is he just a knight? Is that what it is?
Must be strange for you coming into this room. I'm standing right here when it happened.
Yeah, because you did it.
It was very brave, your brother.
Oh, wait, what?
He didn't deserve to die like that.
But wait, isn't This is what Robert the King was talking about last time, about how the Targaryens killed his family.
500 men, and this room was silent as a crypt, except for the screams, of course.
That's insane.
I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Wait, so okay, Jaime killed that king.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? You're a servant of justice. That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back.
Okay, cool. And his name was Aerys Targaryen.
If I'd stabbed the Mad King in the belly instead of the back, would you admire me more?
The thing is, what was his intent though? It was clearly, for sure, not to save or to get justice for Ned's family or Ned's dad or whatever, right? He has his own selfish intent, like he always does.
I was grievously sorry to hear of your troubles on the King's.
What is this, like the 5 elders?
Praying for Prince Joffrey's full recovery.
Shame you didn't say a prayer for the butcher's son.
Facts. That's my goat, Micah. I feel so bad for him, man.
I've hoped to meet you for some time, Lord Stark.
Who are these people?
She has, Lord Baelish.
Baelish.
I understand you knew my brother Brandon as well.
All too well.
Perhaps you chose the wrong man to duel with.
Well, it wasn't the man that I chose, my lord. It was Catelyn Tully.
Who's Catelyn
A
Tully?
woman worth fighting for.
Oh.
I'm sure you'll agree.
One of them situations.
Oh, how forgetful of me. This belongs to you now.
What's that?
Should we begin?
What is that? Is that some sort of badge that tells you?
The same cannot be said for my brother.
Oh, wait. So his brother is the king as well. So that's not a family member added onto the group. Him.
We are the lords of
Baelish.
My brother instructs us to stage a tournament.
Oh, so sick, right? It kind of looked a bit Arabic in a way, but it's probably just the font.
Are you telling me the crown is 3 million in debt?
I'm telling you, the crown is 6 million in debt.
Something about this guy kind of looks like Michael B. Jordan. So they're in debt, but they've got an event coming up. Sports event, I guess. Yeah, look, the
As you
tournament.
will, but still, we'd best make our plans.
There will be no plans until I speak to Robert.
He's already taking full charge. Look at that. How you should do it.
You're a warrior, like your father.
I'm not like him. I didn't fight off anything. It bit me, and all I did was scream.
You're right.
You only spared the girl because of the love your father bears her father.
I didn't.
When Aerys Targaryen sat...
Look at her. She's always trying to manipulate some sort of narrative for her sake. So... bro.
Do I have to marry her?
Wow, he doesn't even want to marry her. Okay, I will say, this little conversation did show me that Joffrey does have some sort of conscience in him. As much of a he is, he does have a little bit of conscience in him. And the queen is the one instilling all of these ideals, all of these morals, these fake personas onto him. That's made him the person he is. So I put full blame on her. Still find him uncomfortable, but I will put full blame on her. And I'll give him the benefit of doubt to an extent.
He's a liar and a coward, and he killed my friend.
Oh, Micah is dead.
You're an idiot. You're a liar, and if you told the truth, Micah would be alive.
Enough!
I'm with Arya on this.
Arya, open the door.
That sword is kind of sick, I can't lie. She's got like Shinobu's sword.
Little lady shouldn't play with swords.
I wasn't playing, and I don't want to be a lady.
Come here.
It's about time we get some sort of interaction between these two. I feel like we haven't had it at all in season 1 and 2.
It's called Needle.
Okay, so it is called Needle.
And who were you hoping to skewer with Needle? Your sister? You know the first thing about sword fighting?
Stick 'em with the pointy end.
That's the essence of it.
That's kind of adorable. I want to see Jon.
I hate all of them. The Hound, the Queen and the King, and Joffrey and Sansa.
Look. I get that she hates the king because he had to make the order or whatever, but hey, that's foreshadowing. I'm right, that he is hiding something. He can't just be this all good, nice guy. He is hiding something. I mean, he's already in debt, right? So, just saying.
We've come to a dangerous place. We cannot fight a war amongst ourselves.
Yeah, because you've got a war coming that you have to take care of.
I can keep it.
Try not to stab your sister with it.
I quite like this dynamic. Overall, I like the Starks family's dynamic.
If you're going to own a sword, you better know how to use it.
Train it up! Look, I know for a fact they're going to get like 1 million time skips, right? I've already mentioned this before. The fact that they travel from kingdom to kingdom, that's more than enough reason for there to be time skips. And then on top of that, like all of these setups with characters and like dragons, like the eggs, if they're going to hatch and they're going to grow, there's going to be a huge time gap.
Fear is for the winter, when the snows fall 100 feet deep. Fear is for the long night.
Bars, she's kind of spitting.
That is the time for fear, my little lord, when the white walkers move through the woods.
Oh, come on, I'm loving this premise.
So is this the sort of story that you like?
Yes.
Hunting with their packs of pale spiders, big as hounds. I
was just about to say we need more of him. But okay, wait, chill. Let's talk about that real quick. The White Walkers, because I briefly mentioned my thoughts on them, and that would be that like they're one of the main things that's going to be taking over this season, maybe even span over a couple of seasons, but I'm going to assume just this season specifically, right? And I also did mention that Brandon or Bran is going to become a deserter. Whether he time skips first and then deserts, or deserts early on, I don't know. They could go both ways and it'll still make sense. I think preferably once you time skip up. The reason, okay, if it's earlier now, like nowadays, it would make sense because it's a premise that's just happened. You know, that deserter said that he saw a White Walker. It's in everybody's mind right now, not a couple years later, right now. So it would make sense if he was to become a deserter now. But then also makes sense to become a deserter later, when he time skips, when he's older and can take care of himself, when he's alone out there. And then it could also be a situation where he deserts nowadays, like earlier on, and then the White Walkers take care of him, some sort of like Tarzan situation, and then he grows up with them. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what like the whole White Walker situation is, because they're supposed to be these ruthless killers that just on the level of Dexter, you know, cutting up and chopping up the bodies like that, right? But at the same time, they did leave that guy to go back and get punished, right? And that's not just an act of letting him live, that's also an act of conscience, right? They know what they're doing with that, either to send a message or something like that, or like I think sending a message is the only thing you can really guess, right? They let him live to go back to send a message, so they've got a level of conscience. I don't know how much, I don't know if they can talk or they can't or whatever, but they've got a level of conscience. So however it must happen, I think that Bran and the White Walkers are going to be clashing at some point in terms of narrative, right, or plot, right? So I think that's where that's going to go.
What Maester Lewin says about my legs.
That he might be paralyzed? No way.
I'd rather be dead.
Don't ever say that.
I'd rather be dead.
It's an unfortunate reality for a lot of people, you know, to face. I can't even imagine. Something tells me I doubt he'll stay paralyzed. I think he'll recover. I can't believe at one point I thought this guy was stuck.
And no one knew who I was the last time I came either.
She just snuck her way all the way up here.
My lady.
Welcome to King's Landing, Lady Stark.
She's like, I'm not going to get caught. They won't recognize me. Instantly.
How did you know I was coming?
Knowledge is my trade, my lady. Did you bring the dagger with you by any chance?
The dagger? The one used to try and kill her son by that assassin. She said it's too high end. It must be owned by a thing.
Know whose dagger this is.
Why is Michael B. Jordan laughing?
Something you don't know that I do.
Oh, he knows who it is.
It's mine.
Yours?
At least it was. I lost this dagger.
To whom?
Tyrion Lannister.
Tyrion? I know for a fact he's... No. They're setting him up or something, or they then took it off of Tyrion to try and set him up. Because I know for a fact it's Jaime or the Queen that sent the assassin. It can't be Tyrion. So they must have took it from Tyrion in a way that sets him up to make it look like he's the one that gave it to the assassin. But Tyrion, Jon, Ned, Arya, Uncle Benji, to a certain extent, my goat Micah, are so far my favourite characters.
Next.
Did you see Tyrion just standing there? These are the guys protecting the kingdom.
A raven came for Ned Stark's son.
What kind of position does Tyrion have here, though? Must be higher than just one of the soldiers, right?
A raven from Winterfell this morning.
Why is everyone getting a message? What's going on?
I thought that she'd be safest in here. One of several such establishments I own.
You're a funny man.
I mean, hey,
Ned!
you guys would probably react the same way. Because to him, it looked like he just violated his wife.
It's an improvement.
I think they would look marvellous decorating spikes in King's Landing. Perhaps I'll write to my sister, the Queen, about it.
Tyrion is such a goat, man. He's got a way with words. He's always had.
He was given a choice, his right hand or the wall. I've been asking the Lord Commander about them. Fascinating.
So this is supposed to be an elite force for... the elite forces for broken people, is what I was trying to say. I was trying to focus as well at the same time.
Your brother Bran is He's woken up.
Oh, is that what the message is? Is that he woke up, but he's paralyzed?
Peter has promised to help us find the truth.
Is that him?
Like a little brother to me, Ned. He would never betray my trust.
Okay, so Michael B. Jordan is Peter.
How could you be so stupid?
Calm down.
He's a child.
Okay, so he's the one that set up the assassination.
What has the boy told them?
Nothing. He said nothing. He remembers nothing.
I was right. Oh, I knew it. I said it, that he's either gonna have like amnesia, worst case scenario, or he wasn't gonna say it.
Until we know who our enemies are.
I know they did it, Ned. The Lannisters in my bones. I know it.
Littlefinger's right. I can't do anything without proof.
And if you find the proof,
Shing, just like that.
you nearly killed poor Littlefinger yesterday.
I don't know. I need more from her to like her. I knew it. I should have said it. I should have said it. I should have said it. I knew it from the moment they met or they introduced him and had like his first interaction with her that he liked her. I knew it. From now on, I'm gonna voice everything I think of, even if it sounds stupid. But yeah, like I said, I need a little bit more from her to like, you know, say that she's a great character. I mean, so far she is a good character, but not great. She's good. You know, she's entertaining because she's got a lot going on. She's trying to decipher who did this and what. She's got her own plot going on, right? Which is great. But her character, her personality, I need to see a little bit more.
Mine was some Tarly boy at the Battle of Summerhall.
Okay, is Tarly the last one? Or was that just supposed to be like a position?
I knocked him down with the hammer. God, I was strong then.
It's empty, Your Grace.
What do you mean it's empty?
There's no more wine.
Is that what empty means? So get more.
This is the most king I've seen him act.
Tell your cousin to get in here.
Cousin.
Slayer.
Okay then.
Get in here. Any last words?
I cut his head off, so no.
What about Aerys Targaryen? What did the Mad King say when you stabbed him in the back?
Okay, I'm worried if Robert is like kind of not worried. I'm wondering if Robert's kind of worried about him a little bit, or is conscious about him because he killed the last king. So the last king, as he was dying, he said, "Burn them all." It's quite creepy. Oh, we're back with the Dothraki.
Sometimes a cow feels insulted by the number of slaves he's given.
A cow. I thought. Oh, Khal Drogo isn't his name. Khal is just his status as king. Like she's Khaleesi, he's Khal. Drogo is just his name. So Khal is just okay then. That clarifies that.
Not a queen. A Khaleesi.
She's really like taking this role in. At first, she started off not wanting it whatsoever, and I thought she was gonna stick like that until she was. I don't know. I thought. Okay, let me be honest. I thought there was gonna be a situation where I thought this is going to be one of them like unrequited loves, right? Unrequited romance, where Daenerys is stuck in a political marriage with Drogo, but she doesn't want it, and then ends up falling with someone else. And I thought that would end up being Jon. So I don't know if this dialogue that just happened disapproves that, but that was what was in my head, that she's gonna meet Jon at some point somehow. I don't know. The last 2 episodes have been less and less convincing because the way that the paths are following, it doesn't feel like that. Like they're going to King's Landing, they're gonna go have a war with the capital, whatever. Jon is with the elite, which I'm assuming is in Winterfell, like in a different section of Winterfell, right? I mean, he did leave Winterfell, but isn't that like massive wall, like near it, or something, right? But then he is with Tyrion. I still don't understand where that elite force is, because I thought the elite force was for Winterfell, but like the wall, but actually that could just not be the case anymore. The elite force, the Black Castle, right? That could be in King's Landing, which makes it actually possible that they would meet. But when they clash, it's gonna be from in the middle of war, not like a meeting, right? So let's see where this goes then.
You give commands to me. To me.
Damn, he's already going crazy.
I am Lord of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't take orders from
Shall we return to the Khalasar, Khaleesi?
Oh, is Cal just like short for Khalasar? So it's Khalasar Drogo, Khaleesi, Daenerys. And then you can shorten both of them. So you could call her Cal Daenerys.
You walk.
Oh, I'm so glad he's getting put through this. Oh, but wait, look, it's it's cold. There's a massive wall over there. I'm so confused. So he is working at the elite force is at the wall, which is not in King's Landing, right? It's like closer to Winterfell. I don't know. I need to see like a diagram of the map. Bro, I will never get over that wall. That looks so sick. Okay, first episode I was like, did they build the wall to keep something out? They definitely didn't build this wall. It's like the red line. Oh, nice. This is the first time we get to see like most of it. Wait, it's actually a lot skinnier than I thought. If that's... Is it just that walk? Is that like how wide it is? Is it just this? And I'm seeing a bunch of structure, so maybe they did build this wall. Oh, view. We get a nice view. Tough. That looks sick.
There have been disturbing reports.
What kind of reports?
Kind I don't want to believe.
What about the White Walkers?
You're no ranger, John. But I'm better than every other. Better than no one.
Your typical, you need to grow. But I am grown. Conversation.
Is that what we are, Lannister? An army of jesters in black?
We don't have enough men to be an army, and aside from Yoren here, none of you are particularly funny.
He always knows what to say. Like, he's the guy.
Half the boys you've seen training will die north of the wall. Might be a wildling's axe that gets them.
Okay, so then...
Might be sickness. Might just be the cold.
So then, okay, is this how it works then? I'm trying to imagine the diagram of the map, right? Is it like the King's Landing down here, right? Let's just say like at the bottom over here. And then you've got up north, Winterfell. And then a bit higher north is the wall, right? And then even higher than that is where these guys go out to scout, right? I'm assuming. Like, for example, he said he's going to go out to scout. He just said those boys, if they go any higher north, they won't survive. So I'm assuming it goes King's Landing, Winterfell, Wall, unknown. Let's just call it that massive like forest area where they found the White Walkers, right? I think. And then like somewhere on the left is like the Dothraki family with the Targaryens or whatever. No, but that's across the water, so it would have to be in a whole different place without like you would need a boat for it basically, right? So okay then. I'm assuming that's what it looks like. I'm gonna have to look at the intro again.
So plump little lords like you can enjoy their summer afternoons in peace and comfort.
Sounds like he's lost a couple of people.
I don't believe that giants and ghouls and White Walkers are lurking beyond the wall.
Giants, ghouls, and White Walkers. If giants are real, oh my god! If you watch my Split Fiction gameplay, you know when the wall went up, like they built it.
Are no different from us.
Wildings are probably like the animals.
It's not the wildlings giving me sleepless nights.
Where's it then?
You've never been north of the wall, so don't tell me what's out there.
That was a tough like dialogue conversation. Ben, we'll call him Ben. Ben and Tyrion like having a conversation, being together in one room. So good. I enjoyed that. That was great. So Ben's been out a couple times, and I'm assuming, his brother that he mentioned had died.
So you're heading down to King's Landing too.
Okay, so this is okay.
Let's share the road. I could use some decent company.
Again, a bit of a road trip all the way down to King's Landing. So then would they pass by Winterfell, or did they go like around it? I wonder how much of this language they made up for the sake of this
What are you doing?
what's it called? For the sake of this show.
Last time you bleed, Khaleesi?
Why she's touching her stomach like that? Is she already pregnant? No way, right? She is. She definitely is. I just realized that. Blood Rider 2 Cow Barbo. Is that the recent cow?
He still is.
You know, he kind of reminds me of Askeladd from Vinland Saga, where he's like, he looks like he's part of a country or a house that's very... He looks like he's a part of a house that's very important. Hasn't dropped the full name, I think, unless he just mentioned it now, because he mentioned his dad's name. Either way, like he's in a place that he shouldn't be. He's meshing with people, learning their language that he shouldn't be, or he's like against, probably, or something like that. I don't know. The same way that Askeladd was with the Danish, even though he hated them, and he wasn't Danish himself, and he knew their language. You know what I mean? So he kind of reminds me of that. So because of that, I'm very interested in him. Very interested in seeing more of him. Jorah the Andal. So I don't think Andal is the name. I think that's just like a status.
And I betrayed him.
He betrayed his dad. Look. Is this what that means then? Like he betrayed his dad, came to the Dothraki and stayed with them, even though they're like against each other. Who is this woman? Why is she so like? I was right. I mean, it was obvious.
The fleeing south. The ones who flee say they've seen the White Walkers.
Wait.
Fishermen of Lannisport say.
Wait. So the wildlings, what is that? I thought those were just animals, right? But wildlings, is that like actual people? That would make sense because at the start we did see the chopped up bodies. Where would the bodies have come from if it wasn't just people? And where did the people come from if they didn't go past the wall? So I'm assuming wildlings is a population of people that live outside the wall. And they're saying they're fleeing south. They're running away. And they said that they've seen White Walkers, meaning that they can talk. And now he's saying the fishermen of Lannisport say that they see mermaids. I thought that said something else, never mind. But either way, so wildlings, are those like more people outside the wall? I'm guessing. Okay. Because I thought when they said capturing wildlings, and before when Benji said he's killed wildlings, whatever, I thought it was just animals. They're grabbing like livestock. I can't wait for these dragons to hatch. 3 as well. That's crazy. So this just tells me, like, this just pushes the idea even more that she's really getting into this role. Like, she started off as a no, now she's becoming more of a yes, especially with a baby on the way. Put that in my bucket list.
You stop at Winterfell on your way south.
Okay.
Expect I will.
That
gods know there aren't many feathers.
That confirms my.
King's Landing.
If you see my brother Bran, tell him I miss him.
I'm sure Bran would love to hear that.
I'd visit if I could.
Of course.
The goat. Tyrion is so goated, bro. He's such a nice guy. Yeah, so this confirms that it's the Wilderness, the Wall, Winterfell, and then King's Landing. So far, one above the other.
You are late, boy.
Who are you?
Your dancing master, Syrio Forel.
Did Ned like assign a teacher for her?
Just so. One hand is all that is needed.
Who is this guy? I like him. You're gonna have your typical tough instructor, untouchable showing. You gotta show it, And then later on, they're gonna do a time skip. They're gonna play this exact same scene, and she's gonna be on par with him. Right? I wonder when was the last time he's had to go out and fight. Wow. What a good episode. I won't lie, that was a great episode. Probably my favourite so far. Not even joking. The introduction to the Elite Force, the Black Castle at the Wall. You know, more talk about the White Walkers. I like that. There's less of the Dothraki. I like that. Because they're a bit of a wild card. You never know what's going to be coming up with them. It's either gross or just weird. Less of Winterfell, which is fine. And I'm glad, I'm happy with that as well, because we've seen enough of that for the last 2 episodes. Introduction, more depth for the King's Landing. Amazing. Great. I saw the characters I needed to see. Benj, Tyrion, Jon, Ned, Arya is growing, you know what I mean? And then less of the characters that I didn't want to see. What a great episode. That was by far my favourite episode so far. Let's take a quick break, because I need to grab myself some food and breakfast, and then we'll continue on with episode 2. Okay, today's breakfast. Nothing crazy, just made myself a bit of perfectly scrambled eggs. You see how it's still wet, but not raw. Sprinkled with a bit of mozzarella cheese on there, cheese spread, half a baguette, half a mini baguette I should say, and then a mocha. I made myself a 2 sugar mocha. As for the seasoning, we've got pepper, salt, the basic, and then a bit of chili powder on there. And then on top of that, we got some garlic Nando sauce, medium. You know, cheeky little basic breakfast. Perfect. By the way, it's 4 medium eggs on there. I couldn't find any larger, so yeah. Alright, I finished my breakfast. Still got my coffee though, so I also brought in a cup of water. Anyway, let's get started. Oh my god, this coffee is so good. I almost finished it just in the intro. Oh, we're getting a bit of Bran. Wait, look, he can walk! Oh, why does he got like 2 eyes? Like one on his forehead, one on his usual spot. 3 eyes. Oh wait, he was dreaming.
But Rob's Lord of Winterfell, which means I do what he says and you do what I say.
Oh, so the eldest son is now the Lord. Amazing. Like I said, I want to see more of these two. Who's Hodor? Oh my days, he only says his name. He's a behemoth as well.
I'm Lord of Winterfell while my father is away.
Like a temporary hold. So wait, does he think that Ned is going to come back at some point then?
I'm not a cripple.
Then I'm not a dwarf. My father will rejoice to hear it. Start with a yearling, teach it to respond to the reins and to the boy's voice.
Damn, so is this actually like a permanent thing?
I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things.
That's why he's such a good character.
Where is Lady Stark? Why didn't she receive me?
She wasn't feeling well.
She's not in Winterfell, is she?
This guy's a genius.
The lady's whereabouts.
Lady?
Yeah, my lady, what?
How do you think Balin Greyjoy would feel if he could see his only
It's his mum, right?
has turned lackey?
Is he saying my lady as in like, he's being respectful to her position, basically?
I'm a constant disappointment to my own father, and I've learned to live with it.
He's just coming around giving pure wisdom to everyone.
Tell them your name.
Samuel Tarly.
Tarly. Okay, our first Tarly. They name dropped that last episode.
The Black.
Come to take the black pudding? Well, you couldn't be any worse than you look.
Okay.
What you can do.
The way they've introduced him, by the way, like everyone making fun of him, he's like this random guy that just came out of nowhere. They name dropped Tarly. He's going to be an important character, for sure. How? I don't know. Why he's here, I don't know. Again, they did mention that the reason why people join this force is typically because they're from a broken or unfortunate like event, whether they lost someone or they did something like a crime or whatever, right? So we'll have to see what this guy's situation is. I'm curious. You know, he reminds me of Fish Legs. He's kind of like Fish Legs.
Seems they've run short of poachers and thieves down south. Now they send.
I mean, it's harsh, but it works, right? Like you have to have a heart of steel to join this group, right? And he's gonna have to develop him to be like that. So it's harsh, but it makes sense.
You can call me Sam. My mother calls me Sam.
Not gonna get any easier, you know.
Why didn't you get up and fight? I wanted to.
I have a feeling the way they're gonna use him is gonna be so tragic. I can already see it. John's gonna train this guy up to be like really stoic for the position itself. Very harsh training, whatever. But he's never gonna let go of this soft side of him. He's actually gonna rub off on John and probably even the rest of the group. You know, they're gonna start off by making fun of him, and then later on they're gonna be friends, and even further on he's gonna rub off on the rest of them. Just to then be the manliest one out of all of them and sacrifice himself or get himself killed. Which is going to be so tragic. I don't know why, but that makes so much sense. Just from the interaction I'm seeing right now, it makes so much sense for him to have an impact on the group in terms of personality, like be nice and whatnot, rub off on them, to then just die and fulfill his purpose as a soldier. So, come back to this video when I'm 100% right. Come back. I thought I saw a spider. Alright, we're back with the Dothraki. This lot have been walking or riding the horses for like 3 episodes straight.
Mud, shit, and twigs.
Don't they have to cross an ocean or something like that? Or like a river or something? They mentioned that they need boats to get past, right? So, I haven't seen them do anything like that yet.
Khal Drogo's marching the wrong way with my army.
Unless they know some other route. He's saying they're marching the wrong way. Drogo might know some like secret route that you can get around without having to cross the ocean.
The Dothraki have never crossed the narrow sea.
Yeah, there we go.
King Robert is fool enough to meet them in open battle, but the men advising him are different.
And you know these men?
I fought beside them once.
He's actually my favorite figure of this whole what's it called? Side of the story.
Old slaves.
Aye.
Like, look, he's a bad guy. He sold slaves, right? He's a bad guy. Exactly like Askeladd. Askeladd's a bad guy. He's a thief, kills people, including children in most cases. But his character has so much depth, and I feel like he's going to also be a similar situation. I'm looking forward to him. I'm so excited for him.
The brave men didn't kill dragons. The brave men rode them.
He's talking about Hiccup. This is post How to Train Your Dragons.
The swords of the vanquished.
Is that his swords behind the throne, like stuck on there?
What if I only have girls?
If you only had girls,
You'd have more children.
the throne would pass to Prince Joffrey's little brother.
Oh, fair.
Everyone would hate me.
She's taken too much responsibility way too early.
Who built the Iron Throne?
Me.
Aegon the Conqueror.
Aegon the Conqueror. Hold on. I need to hear that again.
Who built the Red Keep?
Maegor the Cruel.
Maegor the Cruel built the Red Keep. What's the Red Keep? What could that be? It might have been name drop, and I forgot. I don't know. Maegor the Cruel. What are these Elden Ring names?
Last night we had a tavern riot, a brothel fire, 3 stabbings, and a drunken horse race down the Street of Sisters. Dreadful.
Okay, so then let me understand this. I know there's different lords for different houses, right? Stark House, all of that stuff, right? Different, which are in different cities, different kingdoms, right? But in this case, it feels a little bit more like deep, because not only is there a king and a right hand, but there's also different. I mean, they're called lords as well, but I'm gonna call them ministers, right? And they feel like they're taking care of different things, I guess. I don't know how it works, because they're all sitting around a round table basically, or like a table with specific chairs, like as if they're assigned a certain specific role. And I'm assuming it's based off of like I don't know, different things within the King's Landing. So I'm interested to see. One of them is probably like trade. One of them is probably like the army. The other one's probably like, I don't know. What's the one called for like taking care of people? I don't remember. Anyway, let's continue. We'll find out.
There's nothing else, my lords.
Like, I want to know all their specific roles.
His death was a great sadness to all of us.
What's all of that? What's that massive chain he's got with the different like cuffs or keys or whatever?
It would be of little interest to you, my lord. A ponderous tome.
No, I'd like to read it.
Tome. Oh my god, that's definitely a tome. I want a book like that, you know. That is so sick.
Lineages and history.
That's huge. Oh my days. I hope he actually gets to read it and we see some stuff, not just he opens it and then it cuts away. Oh my god, what a book. wait, we gotta go back. What does that say? That says like that looks like it says Rouse Umber or Rau 8E Umber. Pretty sure that means like House Umber, maybe. I don't even know if this is English with just a different font or actually like a completely different writing, because look over here on the right. This looks almost Arabic or Aramaic.
In the 183rd year after Aegon's landing, the last hearth blew of iron.
Aegon's landing, King's Landing. Aegon was the king, the first king. The two names that he just mentioned was 138 years after the first king.
There was one phrase he kept repeating. The seed is strong.
The seed is strong. Instantly I thought about the dragon eggs, but that could be a bit more metaphorical than that.
What else could it be?
Poison.
Disturbing thought.
Poison would make sense.
Did you know that Lord Varys is a eunuch?
Everybody knows that.
Lord Varys. What's a eunuch again? Someone that chopped off their dick?
Sirio says every hurt is a lesson, and every lesson makes you better.
She's actually really taking these lessons into account.
I'm going to be chasing cats.
Cats? And rule this castle. And your sons shall be knights, and princes, and lords.
I hope Arya has like such a huge impact later on.
That's not me.
Like, look, she's setting her up right now by rejecting that idea. I hope she's like one of the strongest warriors later on when she grows up. One of the best. And I mean, she's a swordsman and she's better at archer than Bran. Come on, bro. She's gonna be so tough later on.
Hello.
I'm telling you, they're setting them up.
I don't see all that well.
He's definitely gonna rub off on them.
Comes down by the fire.
He's gonna be one of them ones where like later on in life when they grow up they'll talk to their children about it. They're like, oh, there was a man once, he was clumsy, you know, he was bad at everything. He could even see out the wall, but he did have something that we all didn't. And that's hope. That's happiness, joy, satisfaction, peace, with his life. He rubbed off on us, but he met his tragic end. Something along those lines. 100%, 100%. Oh, it's going to be so sad.
And you'll be thrown from your saddle to die. Also, I'll tell your mother.
Damn.
Nothing would please me more.
Wow, that's insane. His dad is so disappointed in him. And I mean, I guess in a world like this, it makes sense, right? Everyone's son is becoming a lord or a knight or something. And yours is like that. Look at that look, bro! Oh, mate, this is going to be so... Okay, I'm going to stay positive.
I hear you're reading a...
Keep that theory up, but I'm not going to mention it ever again. Until it's confirmed, so... I'm going to stay positive from now on.
Until recently, he was only a squire. John Aaron's squire.
Did he mention his name just now while I was talking?
Do you know Sir Hugh of the Vale?
Sir Hugh.
One of Varys's little birds. The spider has taken a great interest in your comings and goings.
Okay, I've heard of Varys twice now, I think, right? I've completely forgot, or I don't know who he is.
Is there someone in your service whom you trust completely?
Yes.
The wiser answer was no, my lord.
Facts. He's like a detective now, literally just going around asking questions. But who is this guy?
Wrong to distrust you.
Yeah, literally.
Trusting me was the wisest thing you've done since you climbed off your horse.
I quite like Baelish. I do quite like him. This show is doing so good about like with introducing characters later on that are new, that are on par with like characters that we already like. So far, I'm liking the cast of episode 2 and 3 much more than episode 1 and 2. Oh, this is Hugh.
There's no telling who has eyes where.
Let them look.
I like that. I really like that.
Regret to say, he did not honor me with his patronage.
I love that. I love the way this show is playing like King's Landing. I was looking forward to like seeing more of it in episode 1 and 2, and you know that's why I was really excited about episode 3 because they showed a lot more. But now episode 4 is actually like really deep diving into it, giving a lot more depth to this country because it's like not only is there these certain positions, these certain people, but there's more going on behind the scenes. Like a lot more than just a subplot like, oh, who killed John Aaron, right? There's actual like stuff like, oh, you never know who's listening, like he just said, right? This person knows this person knows this, or there's always this secret here. It gives that like mystique about this country. I really like it. But anyways, I'm going to go on a quick break again because I need to go pray. It's time for Jum'ah, if you guys know what that is. It's the Friday prayer of the Muslim religion. But yeah, shouldn't be too long. For you guys it'll be instant, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, let's go. I thought I'd record a little bit because look at the sky. Sun's nice. You know what I mean? I got my keys as well, look at that. Mjolnir's hammer and then obviously the goat hanging off of it. We're almost there, so let's go. I'm back and let's continue this episode, shall we?
About my work. First, I was being treated well. I liked it here.
What a nice guy then. He's out there looking out for the people.
What did you sell him?
She died when I was little. She had yellow hair.
This is a very... yellow hair. This is weird. That's a very specific detail.
Look at me.
Does he look like someone he knows?
Get back to work, lad.
They're setting up quite a lot.
That boy would rather wield a sword than forge one. Send him to me.
Interesting.
Find anything?
King Robert's bastard son.
What? King Robert had another son?
One of the Greyjoys nearly took my eye. Vicious sons of whores.
Greyjoys? Hold on, bro. This is a lot of names. Okay, cool. So just because there's a specific house name being dropped doesn't particularly mean that they're one of the 7 kingdoms. Because we've got like 8 or 9 now. Let me see if I can remember all of them. Targaryens, Stark, Lannisters, Snow, Dothraki, Tarly. There's the one that they mentioned with Tarly. And then there's this one. Did I mention Snow already? Like Jon's. That's interesting. Okay then. So now I need to find out which one of these houses, or which of these houses are actual like leads of kingdoms.
I saw the youngest of the Greyjoy lads at Winterfell. It's like seeing a shark on a mountaintop.
There was a Greyjoy.
I doubt it.
Theon. There was one in Winterfell. That's interesting. So they do like live amongst each other basically, right? Even after fighting against each other. That's kind of interesting. Alright, in that case then, it'd be really interesting how they introduce these families. You know what the thing is, right? they keep introducing characters as well with name drops, and then like a title next to it, which is kind of cold. Makes it easier to remember them, but don't trust me to actually remember them, because this is a stupendous amount of names that they're dropping.
Where have you been?
No, she had blonde hair. But I mean, could still be the case, right? Basically, what my thought process is right now, what I'm thinking about, is the guy, the blacksmith, Robert's bastard son, his mum. I'm assuming, like, I'm thinking, is that like Ned's sister, the one that we were talking about on the first episode, where he was like, oh, she should have been with Robert, but then she ended up dying to the Targaryens or something like that, right? The blacksmith is old enough, looks old enough for that to be the case. He did say that she died when he was younger, but he said she's got blonde hair. Ned's got brown hair. Again, it could still be the case that that is his sister, so we'll leave that up there for now.
He's our brother now, and we're going to protect him.
Facts.
You are in love, Lord Snow. Gonna slice me off a side of bacon.
That's crazy. What's going on here? That's Snow's that's Snow's wolf, no? Wait, so Snow brought his wolf with him? That's kind of sick.
Attack him!
Sam is going to be such a sweet guy. He's going to hate this commander, this teacher.
You think this is funny to you?
I'm a little bit indifferent about him. I can't dislike him. He's doing his job. He's supposed to be harsh. I can't hate him for that.
You send this whore to give me commands.
This guy is crazy. He is crazy. They were bonding. I thought they were going to make it a thing, right? Look at him, the way he treats her. That's rough.
The dragon.
Damn, she hit him back. Look at that. Progress. Character development.
I am a Khaleesi of the
Look at that. She's actually really embracing it.
The next time you raise a hand to me.
What colour hair?
Whoa!
And,
Get this guy a computer and some lotion.
why is my surname Snow? Because
He's
you're
got a different
bastard
mum.
from the north. I never met my mother. My father wouldn't even tell me her name. I don't know if she's living or dead.
What I really like about Snow as well, that is showing right now, is that, you know, him relating to Sam in terms of never being with a woman, right? That shows you that, like, his sincerity, right? In terms of like the idea of keeping sexual romance, right, on the same level as like romance, right? Like actually falling in love and all that stuff. You know, meaningless sex and all that stuff. A lot of people find it great. They brush it off as nothing, but to many people, me as well, like there's a layer of human connection or bond that you like. I feel like you reach if you save it for the right person, or if you just wait for the right person, rather than just being with anyone for anything, for any reason. And I'm not gonna judge anyone's lifestyle, but I'm just saying I prefer living this type of lifestyle. And having Jon Snow basically kind of relate to that. I'm more favoured towards his character. You know what I mean? That's why Tyrion at first, I was like, yeah, whatever, right? You know? But then later on, I liked him more because of his personality, right? He's making, like, use of that to benefit his personality. He's a funny guy, for example, right? He's a charismatic, funny guy, which I really like. I really like charismatic people. Anyway, let's continue.
But I couldn't do it. Because all I could think was, what if I got her pregnant? She had a child. Another bastard named Snow.
Like, he's got his morals, and his morals depict his sexual attraction and sexual decisions, which is really good.
It's still summer. Do you boys even remember the last winter? How long's it been now? What, 10 years?
I really like that. One thing I like about some shows or movies, the way they depict time, is by naming the thing that's specific about that time, whether it's the season or like earlier one of the Dothraki saying it's been like she's pregnant for 2 months. She's been pregnant for 2 months by saying 2 moons, right? I love when they do that. And here they only call winter winter when it's actually winter, like dangerously cold, almost catastrophic, like a natural disaster type of cold. I'm saying that like the last winter was 10 years ago, and that it's been summer since. Like, it's crazy. I like that.
I spent 6 months out there beyond the wall during the last winter.
That's what I was expecting of him anyway. I said it right. The fact that he's this like grumpy instructor is more than just a grumpy instructor. He's been out there, he's experienced all of this, and he's teaching them his experience, not just his personality and like his his hatredness. He's just a hater, which is why I don't mind him, and I don't mind him acting the way he does. It's perfect for his role.
Supposed to be a 2-week mission.
Damn.
The Wildings who fight for Mansreda are hard men.
So Mansreda's beyond the wall.
They knew there was a storm coming in.
Damn.
So they hid in their caves and waited for it to pass.
They were stuck in it.
We got caught in the open.
Damn.
You don't know.
Not a single scar on his body.
Neither of you do.
That's cold though. I really like that.
Didn't have enough to feed them, to keep them warm.
So how did he survive that? So yeah, like I said, like I don't blame him for the way he is.
We'll have new recruits. New lot will be.
Do you know what really pushes this like concept, and even further for me specifically, is that the movie that I've watched like a couple months ago I think it was, right? Society in Snow, Spanish movie, where essentially there's a plane crash and it's based off of a real story. Like they've got actual like images and whatnot. Plane crash on the way to what's that? It's on the tip of my tongue. Chile? I think it was a plane towards Chile, and it crashed on these like icy mountain area, and they basically got buried in the snow at one point, and slowly one after the other was just dying, and they ran out of food, and they had to resort to, well, half of them. So they had to resort to cannibalism. Half of them chose to morally ignore it and not do it, and the other half chose to just do it, right? Obviously honoring the deceased at the same time, which was incredibly it was incredible, because to be put in a situation like that and to make the decisions that you're making and still survive was nuts. And that kind of reminds me of that, because I can imagine that in that winter that they're stuck in the outside, they'd have to resort to like cannibalism as well, which is insane.
Your boys still. And come the winter, you will die.
When winter does actually come, when they actually show it, it better be as good as they're hyping it up to be.
Your brother Rhaegar was the last dragon. Viserys is less than the shadow of a snake.
He is still the true king.
Wait, so she had another brother, Rhaegar, and Viserys is this brother that she's got.
He couldn't lead an army even if my husband gave him one.
Facts. She's becoming a lot more independent, which is great. Alright, before we continue, I'm putting my Ben & Jerry's away. No, this is not me acting like there's still some left and I'm just putting away to make myself know the fact. There still is some, look. See? I'm not fat. I save my portions, I don't just finish it. Lord Stark of Winterfell, I command thee to bring me entertainment. Alright, this is a sports event they've set up earlier.
I'm sorry, do I...
Sansa, dear, this
Oh, that's... It's Michael B. Jordan!
Start the damn joust before I piss myself.
For hounds, older brother. Look how far he's come.
They're gonna show you how strong he is by beating this mountain, isn't it? What's this called again? Fencing? I haven't seen this since like old cartoons. This is crazy. Alright, I'm putting my money on John Aaron's son, Hugh. Never let me gamble. Oh my god! Oh my god! What? I thought he was just You pushed him off the thing. Was that an accident? That had to be an accident, right? That's Jon's son. That's Hugh. They just killed him off like that. I thought he was gonna deliver more to the story.
Not what you were expecting.
No, not at all. What?
Gregor found his little brother playing with a toy by the fire.
Oh, is that what gave him the scar?
And shoved his face into the burning coals.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Is the Hound, whatever his actual name is, actually that strong as well? That's insane, bro. How are they just killing off Hugh like that? I thought they were gonna do some crazy setup with Hugh. Oh, it's Jon Arryn's son, and Thing wants to go talk to him. Oh, he's a knight. This, that. Dead, just like that. This show is crazy. It's ready to sacrifice anyone like that. That's crazy.
You're just a soldier, aren't you? You take your orders and you carry on.
What's that? What of it? Why does that concern you? Like, what's she trying to do? I don't understand. Why is she trying to aggravate him? Wait, who's that?
You can sleep in the stable. As for myself, I don't require a large room.
Oh, it's Tyrion. He's gonna notice that she's here.
I can see your father's victory, King's Landing.
Nothing would more likely ruin my supper. Lady Stark.
Look, easily. I knew it.
I was still Catelyn Tully
No
the
bad.
last time I stayed here.
Catelyn Tully. What? Catelyn Tully. Okay. Going back to the last episode. I don't mean episode 3. I mean like my last episode. My last YouTube video. I asked the question. I said, do they take the wife's name? Because then that would make sense why Jon and like Robb have 2 different surnames. Like Robb is a Stark, Jon is a Snow. But their father is Ned. So in our world, they would have both taken their father's name regardless of having 2 different mums. I guess in certain scenarios they do that anyway, but that aside, that's what I thought. I thought Snow came from Jon's mum's side and then Stark came from Robb's mum's side. But now she's saying she was a Tully. So Stark is Ned's. So why is Jon still Snow? Did he take that from his mum? Or is Snow actually like a status for a half brother or a half son? Because it makes sense now with Ned saying, "Oh, you might not have my name," because now this kind of confirms that yes, Stark is Ned's name. I don't know. I'm gonna need a bit more. I'm gonna need a bit more to confirm that. Specifically, I'm gonna need a bit more of a backstory for Jon and his mum to know this. So where does... Cool. So Stark is Ned's surname.
This man came into my house as a guest and there conspired to murder my son.
No, okay. She's smart, she's genius, but it's not Tyrion.
Robert and the good lords you serve, I call upon you to seize him to await the king's justice.
Damn, that was kind of cold, I can't lie. Really cold. But let Tyrion go. Let him have at least a trial, because he's definitely not at fault for that. 100%. It might have been a knife that he had, but doesn't mean he's the one that orchestrated the assassination of Bran. This is gonna be rough. She's smart, but like, she has no reason to suspect him. And okay, hold on. This kind of confuses me a little bit, because now, I don't know why, but I remember that the Queen was Catelyn's sister, no? Or was that just completely wrong? Where did I hear that? Where did I first hear that? I'm pretty sure I first heard that in episode 1 or something. I don't know. Let's just remove that theory. Or fact, I guess, because I thought that was the truth, but the way that things are going, if the Queen was actually Catelyn's sister, then Tyrion would be her brother. But I mean, you can see the way that she's treating them and all that stuff, and she's calling them the Lannisters. She's a Tully, so they can't be siblings. So we'll throw that away. So then Catelyn only has one sister, and that would be the one that ran away, Jon Arryn's wife. Which is crazy because she just left her son, Hugh, and he's dead. Wow, this show is crazy. I think these last 2 episodes have been way better than the first 2. Like I said, the first 2, they were there for foundation, setting up, introducing characters, introducing the plot, giving you an idea, a rough idea of what's going on and what's about to happen. Which is why I wasn't expecting anything crazy. But we are basically halfway through the season, and these last 2 episodes have been amazing. Great stuff. Wonderful. Exactly what I wanted. Less sex. Less sex. More story. Right? And it gave attention to the characters that I really had my interests on, which is great. So I'm really looking forward to what 5, 6, and then 7 and 8, and then 9 and 10 I've got to offer. Anyway, that's it for today. I might sit down and watch some more later, but then post them on a different day, obviously. But I guess that just depends on the editing that I've got going on. Like, I've got some other stuff planned as well. I've got Walking Dead. That might have started before this, actually, now that I think about it. If it did, let me know what you guys think about it. Split Fiction. And so far, I think that's it. There might be some zombie stuff happening later, though. Going back to, like, Black Ops 3 or something like that. Because I really want to play zombies. But we'll see how things go. Anyway, guys. Stick around for the next episode of Game of Thrones reaction. This is really fun. I really like this show so far. I have another headset then. No, I don't. Anyways, peace out.